From Amazing Grace, we get the words, I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. And we're using those words to do some reflection in this season on what we've learned in this COVID time. So I've asked Moorea Mitchell to share some thoughts with us today. Moorea is one of our high school seniors, and as you can imagine, her life has been substantially affected by this time. So before she goes off to Duke University in the fall, Moorea, will you share with us?
As a senior, there are many things to look forward to. School traditions, experiencing many laughs, and for me, I was super excited about finishing off my high school track and field career before beginning my throws career at Duke next year. So I had my first meet in early March, and there was tons of room for improvement, so I was looking forward to the rest of the season. But then my school had announced that we were going to be sheltering in place for the next 4 weeks. And I was very optimistic about the school opening up. I didn't think this whole coronavirus was as big of a deal as it really is and was at the time. And then around 2 weeks into the original timeline for shelter in place, my school had announced that we would not be reopening. And that was really tough for me because I was just super ecstatic about finishing the year strong, graduation, again, our traditions, and leaving my mark behind me in the track and field world by setting new records and placing at really big meets, and also getting to see friends that I don't normally get to see at school who I get to interact with at these track and field meets. Being at home has given me the time to reflect on what's happening in the world and has made me realize all the things that I do have and has helped me take away my focus from all the things that have been taken away from me due to the shelter in place. Like, I am super grateful for the food that I have every day and the shelter, my house, and just being able to connect with my family on a deeper level now that everybody is here together at home and not out and about, whether it's at work or school or training for track and field. So it's been definitely nice to spend time with like my mom before I head off to college, and my dog, who I now get to take to the park in the afternoons, which I wouldn't have been able to do had we continued with school. I've also been able to write new songs like this one, which is playing in the background right now. It's about the quarantine. I know that everybody is suffering, that's something I learned, and just in different ways. We don't get to finish out our high school year as we thought we would. However, there are people who don't have as many things that I do. Some of the things that are being taken away from them are much bigger than some of the things that I've already lost and am losing. Although our graduation won't be happening in the way that I had envisioned since freshman year, it will be taking place online alongside all of these other school traditions that we have. And my school has definitely gone out of their way to make us seniors feel special and really make us feel important and know that we are being thought about during our last year in high school. And some of the things that my school has done is for Founders Day, they sent each of us seniors a cardboard cutout of our faces and a rose and a bag of Blondies so we could use those items to celebrate Founders Day, which took place online, but we had those with us. And then something that my mom did was she made a banner for me and put that up in the front of our house, and now neighbors get to walk by and they stop and they congratulate me, and it's just really made me feel warm, and it's definitely made me feel like this senior year is something that I will remember even though this whole shelter in place has happened. Now, we seniors entered this world during the tragedy of 9/11 and are now leaving our high school careers and graduating during a pandemic. And if that doesn't speak to strength and overcoming obstacles being embedded in our DNA, then I don't know what can. But I want to leave you with this. I want you to remember that God does have a plan for us, and even though this whole quarantine thing is really tough right now, we will overcome this and we will get through this, especially because God has been by our sides and will continue to remain by our sides for the rest of our lives and the rest of this quarantine.